The doorbell rang at 7:30 a.m. on a Saturday, each chime more insistent than the last. I was already awake, curled up on my window seat with a steaming cup of coffee and Luna, my silver Bengal cat, purring in my lap. The aggressive ringing made her ears twitch, and I sighed. No one visited me this early, except for one person. My name is Olivia Parker. At 34, I had built the peaceful life I always wanted. My cozy cottage was my sanctuary, filled with carefully chosen furniture and, more importantly, protected by a state-of-the-art security system. Some might call it overkill for a single woman living alone. But after years of dealing with my boundary-stomping sister-in-law, Amanda, I knew better. The doorbell rang again, followed by sharp knocking. Luna jumped from my lap, her tail puffed up in annoyance. "Olivia, open up. I know you're in there." Amanda's voice cut through the quiet morning like a blade. I exhaled slowly, already pulling up my security app to confirm what I already knew. There she was, standing on my porch, designer handbag in hand, her expression tight with entitled determination. I unlatched the door but left the security chain in place. "Amanda, it's 7:30 on a Saturday. If you answered your phone, I wouldn't have to be here," she huffed, trying to peer past me. "Where's Luna?" "The kids are in the car with Mark. We've come to take her home with us." My grip on the door tightened. "Excuse me?" "Oh, don't act surprised." Amanda rolled her eyes. "The kids have been begging for a pet, and Luna is perfect. She's already trained, and let's be honest, you're barely home. She'd be much happier with us." A slow, simmering anger built in my chest. "Luna is my cat, Amanda. She's not some accessory you can just take. Don't be selfish, Olivia. You work long hours. You travel. You're not exactly family material. My kids deserve a pet, and Luna deserves a real home. Not to be stuck with a lonely woman who treats her like decoration." I clenched my jaw. "The answer is no. Now leave." Her eyes narrowed. "Fine. Be difficult. But don't think this is over." She spun on her heel, stomping back to the car. I shut the door and locked it, my hands trembling. Luna wove between my legs, sensing my tension. I had rescued her 3 years ago, and she was my constant companion. The thought of Amanda trying to take her made my stomach churn. I should have known she wouldn't give up. Later that afternoon, while on a video call with clients, I managed software development projects. My phone buzzed with multiple security alerts. I glanced at the notifications and felt my blood run cold. Amanda was inside my house. She had used a key, the spare I'd given Mark for emergencies. The security feed showed her moving with purpose, a cat carrier in her hands. "Luna," I called, abandoning my call. But my clever girl had already hidden. I raced downstairs just as Amanda was searching behind my couch. "What the hell do you think you're doing?" She spun, startled, the empty carrier slipping from her grasp. "Oh, come on, Olivia. You're being ridiculous. Luna would be so much happier with us. My kids are crying because of you." I took a slow step forward, voice low. "Get out of my house. Now, or I'm calling the police." She scoffed. "You wouldn't dare. We're family, and Mark gave me permission." I pulled up my phone, showing her the security footage. "I have you on camera trespassing and attempting to steal my cat. You have 30 seconds to leave before I press send." Her face burned red. "You're recording me? In my own family's house?" "My house," I corrected. "Now get out." She snatched up the carrier and stormed out, spitting over her shoulder. "This isn't over, Olivia. You can't hide behind your cameras forever." After she left, I found Luna curled up in her favorite hiding spot, safe. As she nestled into my lap, I reviewed the footage. What Amanda didn't know, this wasn't the first time I caught her crossing the line. For a year, I documented every boundary she broke, every manipulation, every entitled demand. Today's break-in was the final piece of evidence I needed. I pulled out my phone and dialed my lawyer. Amanda thought she could take from me. She had no idea what she just started. The next morning, my phone exploded with messages. Amanda had wasted no time spinning her version of events. In the family group chat, she painted herself as a concerned mother standing up to my selfishness. "Olivia cares more about her security cameras than her own family," she wrote. "Luna deserves a loving home, not a life of isolation." My mother chimed in. "She's just thinking about what's best for Luna. Maybe you should too." I sipped my coffee, watching Luna daintily eat her premium, vet-recommended food. The same food Amanda had never once asked about during her so-called rescue mission. Then, another message, this time from Mark. Mark, can we talk? Amanda's really upset. Of course she was. She hadn't gotten what she wanted. I agreed to meet him at a nearby cafe, knowing this conversation needed to happen face to face. As I left, Luna perched by the window, her tail flicking lazily. The new locks and upgraded security system were already in place. Mark was already there, looking exhausted. He'd always been the peacekeeper, but that role had clearly worn him down. She just wanted to make a point, he started before I even sat down. I let out a short laugh. By breaking into my house to steal my cat. She wouldn't have actually taken Luna. His voice lacked conviction. I pulled out my phone and pressed play. The security footage spoke for itself. Amanda creeping through my home, cat carrier in hand, her own words damning her. Then another clip, and another. Her past attempts to let herself in while I was at work. Trying to convince my pet sitter to hand over my house key. Mark ran a hand through his hair, a childhood habit that meant he was cornered. What do you want me to do? I want my key back, and I want Amanda to leave me the hell alone. I held his gaze. I've already spoken to my lawyer. Next time, I press charges. Olivia, she's family, he pleaded. Family doesn't do this, I said simply. Before he could respond, my phone buzzed. A security alert. I opened the app and felt my stomach tighten. Amanda was back. Her car sat in my driveway. On the live feed, I watched her march up to my front door, clutching a stack of papers. Mark's phone dinged. He glanced at it and paled. She called animal control, he muttered. She's claiming you're neglecting Luna. I smiled, and Mark visibly tensed. He knew that smile. You know what's great about high-end security cameras? I said, grabbing my bag. Crystal clear audio, every conversation, every lie. By the time I got home, Amanda was pounding on my door. I know you're in there, she screeched. Animal control is on their way. They'll see how you keep that poor cat locked up alone all day. I stepped out of my car and strolled past her, calm and collected. Perfect timing, I said. Would you like to come inside and wait for them? I have quite the presentation prepared. Amanda faltered, something in my tone finally cutting through her arrogance. What are you talking about? Oh, just some footage of you admitting Luna is well cared for while trying to steal her. Or the part where you used a stolen key to break into my house. Maybe they'd like to see how you tried to manipulate my pet sitter. Her face turned red. You're bluffing. I opened my front door, and Luna trotted out, sleek and healthy, her new collar camera glinting in the light. Want to bet on that? I asked quietly, because I have a feeling the local news would love this story. Amanda's hands tightened around her flimsy complaint. A car with official markings turned onto my street. Last chance, I said, stepping aside. Walk away now, leave Luna and me alone, and this stays between us. Or we can let animal control and law enforcement review everything. She trembled with rage, her mouth opening, then closing. Finally, she turned, storming back to her car just as the animal control officer stepped out. Some people only learn the hard way. Amanda had just learned that underestimating me was her biggest mistake. The animal control officer, a no-nonsense woman named Officer Martinez, surveyed the situation with a practiced eye. She took in Amanda's crumpled complaint forms, my calm demeanor, and Luna lounging lazily on her cat tree, utterly unbothered. I understand there's a concern about pet welfare, she asked, her tone neutral but firm. Before Amanda could launch into whatever story she'd rehearsed, I stepped forward. Yes, officer. I'd like to report an attempted pet theft and ongoing harassment. I have extensive documentation, including security footage, vet records, and statements from my pet sitter. Would you like to review them? Amanda's self-righteous fury faltered, shifting into something closer to panic. I was just leaving, she muttered, inching backward. Ma'am, Officer Martinez said sharply, I'll need both sides of the story. Stay right here. Inside, I pulled up my security footage on the TV, while Luna stretched luxuriously on her perch. As Officer Martinez watched the clips, Amanda sneaking through my house, key in hand, whispering to herself about finally taking Luna home. Her expression hardened. And here are Luna's vet records, I said, scrolling through them on my tablet. She's been with me since she was a kitten. Regular checkups, vaccinations, even dental cleanings. You're welcome to verify with Dr. Thompson at Valley View Veterinary. Officer Martinez flipped through my documentation before turning to Amanda. Ma'am, did you enter this home without permission? Amanda's hands twisted in her lap. It was a family key, she mumbled. For emergencies. That's not what the footage shows. The officer's voice remained professional, but there was an unmistakable edge to it. Miss Parker, do you want to press charges? I studied Amanda. She wasn't just flustered, she looked cornered, the realization settling in that she'd gone too far this time. No, I said finally. But I want this officially documented, and if she ever tries anything like this again, I won't be so forgiving. Amanda didn't argue. She just sat there, shoulders slumped, staring at her useless complaint forms. You've ruined everything, she muttered as Officer Martinez packed up to leave. The kids will be devastated. I sighed. No, Amanda, you did this. You could have adopted a cat for them, but instead you tried to take mine. You broke into my home. You ignored every boundary. That was your choice, not mine. 3 months later, life had settled into something more peaceful. Mark and Amanda had adopted a kitten from a local shelter, properly this time, with home visits and paperwork. Luna, of course, remained by my side, now sporting a GPS tracker on her collar, just in case. The family dynamic had shifted. Some relatives thought I'd overreacted, while others quietly thanked me for finally standing up to Amanda's behavior. Mark and I were rebuilding our relationship, this time with clear boundaries. One evening, as I worked in my home office, Luna curled up beside me, purring softly. My inbox pinged with an unexpected email. Olivia, taking care of Milo has taught me something. It's not just about wanting a pet. It's about being ready for the responsibility. I'm sorry for trying to take Luna. I was wrong. Amanda, it wasn't a grand apology. It wasn't a total transformation, but it was something. I ran a hand over Luna's fur, scratching behind her ears just the way she liked. We'd weathered the storm together, this clever cat and I, proving that family doesn't get to define what matters to you. You do. The security cameras still recorded. The GPS tracker still worked. My boundaries remained firm. But now, they weren't about fear. They were about knowing my own strength and protecting what I love. Because sometimes, the most important family members are the ones who choose us, even if they happen to have 4 legs and a tail.